I put a video out yesterday about security when it comes to WordPress and 8 tips on how you can harden the security of your website. Now, one of the tips in there was to use what's called 8G Firewall. And I asked if anybody wanted a tutorial on how to get this set up and basically cover what it does. Well, lots of people said yes, they want it. So that's exactly what this video is. It's going to be pretty short because it's incredibly simple to do. So all the links for everything I cover are in the description down below. And if you've got any experience of working with 7G, 6G, 8G Firewall, whichever version you've tried, if you've tried it, let me know your experience down in the comment section because I would love to know your feedback. Anyway, so this is the site. Like I say, the link will be in the description. All we need to do is download this, and that's going to download a tiny little file. If we open the file up, you'll see there's two files inside here. What we're looking for is the 8G firewall.txt file. It's basically just a text file. Open it, and this will open up the text file that contains all of the conditions that are actually going to be applied. Now, I'm not going to go through all of these because there are an awful lot of them there, but let me just quickly explain the basics of what this is doing. When it comes to a lot of these insecurities you have with a WordPress website, and not just a WordPress website, you can use this on any website. It's not limited to just WordPress. But a lot of the ways in which hackers will try to test the security and if there's vulnerabilities as part of your site, whether that's through the core software you're using or any of the plugins, themes, or anything else you have on your site, a lot of the time they'll use query strings. In other words, they'll add little bits to the end of the domain and they will try things out for common insecurities. And what this aims to do is to stop that from happening. So basically, instead of them being able to find out any information or being able to access various different parts of your site or information about users and those kinds of things, this will reject it and create a 403 error. This is how it hardens things up. Might sound really simple, but when you see the number of definitions inside you, you'll understand that it's doing an awful lot. You can see that we've got things like rewrite conditions for requests, to try to use backup, BAK, beta, BKP, and so on. These are all things that will be blocked out for you. So you don't need to understand exactly what's going on here. It's well tested and has been used in lots of different iterations by tens of thousands of people. So all we're going to do is copy it. So we'll select all of it. We'll copy it with Control or Command C. And now we need to put that into the htaccess file on our website. Now, there's a couple of ways in which you can approach this. I'm going to show you one or two now, but whatever you want to use. Whether you want to use an FTP like FileZilla, or whether you want to go in via your cPanel or any of your hosting panels or anything like that, all does the same thing. So now I've basically FTP'd into my server for my website, and what we're looking for is the file.htaccess. We'll simply select it, right click to open it, and now what we're going to do is we're going to make a little bit of space at the top, and generally this has to be right at the top of all your definitions. So if you're running this alongside a plugin like Solid Security, for example, whatever definitions that may add in, pop these at the top. So we're just going to paste that inside there. If you want to comment on this, you can add some comments as well, but you'll see right at the top, it's all kind of commented to say exactly what this is. This is the 8G version. So when a new version comes out, if you want to update, you can do that kind of thing. And that's basically it. All we need to do now is save this. We'll go to File and Save. And now our htaccess has been outdated with the 8G firewall definitions. So now what we need to do is check that our site is all fully functional and working correctly. So you can see this is the demo site that I've got set up. We've applied that to. We'll try some of the links, make sure everything looks and works okay. And if you've got an e-commerce site, then obviously you run through a test transaction and so on. You need to make sure that everything is working the way you would expect it to. But that's basically all there is to it. Now, before you jump off this and go somewhere else, let me quickly show you two other things. If you're a cPanel user, it may be a little different to access your files. So let me quickly show you that because it's a very common way of accessing it. Then I'm going to show you a plugin that if you want to use instead of going in and doing this, if you don't feel confident, will give you pretty much all of the functionality you have as part of using this 8G firewall in a plugin form. So all you need to do if you want to use cPanel is access your cPanel and you're looking for the file manager. And inside there, you'll see all the different folders you've got. Open up your public HTML, which is the normal one that you'll have access. You may have something like www instead, but what you're doing is looking for that particular folder. And then we're going to look for the htaccess file. Now, sometimes you may not see this, so you may need to go into your settings and come down to the option that says Show Hidden Files, brackets, dot files. Dot files just basically means it's like .htaccess, .ini, those kinds of things. Providing you see that, you simply need to open it up, and inside there you can see I've got iTheme Security installed. So what I need to do is make a bit of space above all those definitions, and again, paste things inside there. Save this now by coming to the Save Changes, test my site out, and make sure everything works as it should do. Providing it does, which it should, everything is in place, and you have both your security plugin, in my case, Solid Security, alongside the 8G firewall. Now, like I say, if you don't want to do this, you don't feel confident doing this, or you just don't really know how to do it all, let me show you a plugin kind of version that gives you most of the options that you have. So if you simply go into WordPress, into your plugins, add a new plugin and search for BBQ Firewall, then this is going to bring up the plugin that I'm talking about. It's from the same developer, Jeff Starr, who's very well renowned for this plugin and also the 8G firewall. The only difference here is the fact that this is using 6G and 7G firewall. It will be updated at some point once everything has been tested out. But if you want to go down this route, you at least have most, if not all, the same kind of functionality you have in 8G. And all we need to do is make sure you install that plugin, and you are good to go. So we'll activate this, and you'll see it really is incredibly simple. There's a pro version. You don't need to go down that route if you don't want to. If we come into settings, you'll see inside there we have no settings. Simple as that. There is nothing to set up inside here. If you want to use the pro version, there are some settings, but the free version basically does exactly what I've just shown you. So if you want to test this, there we go. Access is denied, so everything is working. Now, if you want to learn more about WordPress security and how you can harden your website, check out this video next. It's going to give you 8 great tips to help you improve your whole security setup.